Hi, my name is Vial, and in today's video I'm going to show you an easy DIY chalkboard lettering tutorial. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can create this. It's fun to create artwork. For this chalkboard lettering sign tutorial, we're going to need, of course, a chalkboard, chalk markers, which I'm using this set of 30 chalk markers from Chalkboard. We're also going to need transfer tape, but this is optional. You can always just use pencil and eraser to sketch your design on the chalkboard. We're also going to need wet wipes and a paper towel. So let's go ahead and get started. First part is to sketch your designs. As you can see here, I had already sketched my design, and what I usually do is I have this very inexpensive notebook where I keep all of my designs. Sometimes I do ink them, and then sometimes I don't finish them. I'm just keeping like that. So I decided to go ahead and do one of the designs that I already had, so that saved me a little bit of time. And this is something that you can do, is actually have a sketchbook and have your design. I went ahead and turned this design into a printable, so if you want to create the same design that I did, you can go into my blog at vialdesigns.com and download. Next, we're going to transfer our design into the chalkboard, and for this we're going to use this transfer paper. This paper comes in different colors. The white one is best for dark surfaces. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut a piece, and you're going to put this piece in between your design and the chalkboard, and then you're going to make sure that the piece covers your design before you start transferring. Now, one of the things that you want to make sure, this transfer paper has two sides, and there is one side that actually activates the paper. So you want to make sure you have it on the right side, because if you have it backwards, it's not going to transfer. If you see here, it won't transfer. If I turn it, it transfers. So make sure you have it on the right side, and then you put your design on top of it. And what you're going to do, you can use any pen or pencil, and then you're going to trace over the design. Another option is that you can sketch your design with pencil, which is actually what I did for my chalkboard. And the last step and the fun part is to ink your design using chalk markers. I recommend having a scrap of a piece of paper, because you're going to need to tap your markers frequently, and that is to activate the ink. And since I sketched my design in pencil, I decided to only do the lettering part, and I will be adding the floral line drawings at the end. And in here, I'm doing a technique called fog calligraphy, and I'm doing the outlines to the letters, and then I will be filling in the letters with different colors. For the bottom part of the letters, I'm gonna do a different shade of green, and these markers, when they're new, you first need to activate them, and that's what I'm doing here. You do have to press the tip hard. You're gonna shake the markers first, and then you're gonna press the tip hard, and then you're gonna keep pressing until the ink starts flowing to the tip of the chalk marker. And sometimes it can take a little bit of time for the ink to start flowing, but this is usually at the beginning when the markers are new. After that, you only tap a few times and the ink should start flowing again. This type of blending effect on the letters, I first use the lighter shade, then I use a darker shade marker, and then I clean it a little bit to remove the light color of the tip of the darker shade, and then I finish the bottom of the letter using the darker shade of marker. Now I'm using the white chalk marker, and you always have to shake it first and then tap the tip a little bit so you can activate the ink, and the ink starts flowing to the tip. And this is called faux calligraphy. I do have a video tutorial where I go over how to create faux calligraphy, and this is useful especially in projects like this when you don't have brush pens. Now I'm going to ink the letter create with this yellow marker, and the good thing about chalk markers is that you can easily erase them. So for example here, I didn't really like how this was turning, so I went ahead and grabbed a wet wiping, and I just simply went over the part that I wanted to erase, and then use a paper towel to dry the part, and it looks like if I hadn't drawn anything on it in the first place. For this create word, I'm going to do the same thing, the same blending technique that I did with the word fun. And what I'm doing is I'm using a lighter yellow to fill in the upper part of the letters, and then I'm using the orange to fill in the bottom part. And something important that you have to keep in mind is that you have to do letter by letter, because if you want a successful blending, you want to do it while the ink is wet. So you're going to fill in the top part of the letters, and then you're going to do the bottom part just a little bit, and then you're going to clean the tip of the marker, and then you're gonna finish doing the bottom part of the letter. And this is so that to create a seamless blending between the two colors. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding the doodles and the floral embellishments to the sign. And I'm going to go ahead and speed up this part of the video just because I'm just following the design that I created, and that's why it's very important for you to sketch your design beforehand. And remember, if you want to recreate the same design that I'm doing, just go to my blog at vialdesigns.com and go to my resource library. You're gonna enter your email and your name, and you're gonna have access to the resource library where I keep this printable and many other free calligraphy worksheets and other printables as well. Tracing over the design with the chalk markers took me about 30 minutes to complete. This lettering is meant to be done slow, having fun while you're doing it. then don't rush it. And even though chalk markers are very easy to wipe just with a wet wipe and clean, I always recommend to have your design done beforehand. That way you know how you're going to space out everything on your chalkboard. And remember, if you want to recreate this design, you can go to my blog at vialdesigns.com. I do have this printable and many other free worksheets that you can use if you want to start learning calligraphy and hand lettering. I hope you like this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'm gonna be putting the links to all the supplies that I use. I hope you enjoyed this chalkboard lettering sign tutorial and start creating your own. The great thing about chalkboard and chalk markers is that you can always erase everything and create a completely new design that you can display at home, or all types of designs that you can display at different parties. Thank you so much for watching.